Hello everyone. Now I'm going to teach you how to multiply matrices. Alright, before I begin, you have to make sure that you've read my notes and you know how to identify the dimensions of a matrix as well as know what the elements are of a matrix and how to label them. Alright, now let's begin. If you look at the first matrix, the dimensions of that is a 2 by 2 because there's 2 rows and 2 columns. If you look at the second matrix, the dimensions of that is a 2 by 3 because it has 2 rows and 3 columns. And then if you notice, my inner dimensions are the same number. So therefore, I can multiply these two matrices. And the outer dimensions give me what the product will look like after I multiply it. So now let me create a 2 by 3 because that will be the product of the matrix. That means I'm going to have 2 rows and 3 columns. I don't know what the answers are yet, so I'm just going to label them all as A. All right. Now I'm going to actually label the subscripts because that will help me know what to multiply. So the A's in the first row will all have 1s because they're all in the first row as the first number. And then the A's in the second row will all have 2s because they're in the second row as the first number. And then in my first column, I'm going to label the second number as 1s going down because they're all in the first column. And these will be 2s going down because they're all in the second column. And these will be 3s going down because they're all in the third column. All right, now let's actually multiply. To get the solution in this first spot right here, I'm going to look at the subscripts. Since there's a 1 and a 1, that means I'm going to circle the first row in the first matrix and the first column in the second matrix. So I'm multiplying 4 times -1 to get -4. And I'm multiplying 6 and 5 to get 30. Then I add those two together, and they equal 26. My answer goes in that spot. Now I'm about to do what answer goes right here. Since my subscripts say 1 and 2, I'm going to focus on the first row in the first matrix and the second column in the second matrix. All right, 4 times 5 gives me 20, and 6 times 3 gives me 18. When I add those together, I'll get 38, and I'll put it in that spot. All right, the third number is telling me to look at the first row in the first matrix and the third column in the second matrix. So now I'm multiplying 4 times 4, which gives me 16, and 6 times 1, which gives me 6. When I add those together, I get 22. All right, now let's look at the next element in the second row, first element in the second row. This is telling me to take the second row, first column. Second row, first column. I'm multiplying 5 times -1 to give me -5, and 7 times 5 to give me 35. And then when I add those together, I get 30. All right. This next entry is telling me to look at the second row and second column. Okay. So I'm looking at the second row, the first one, second column, second one. All right. 5 times 5 gives me 25. 7 times 3 gives me 21. When I add those two together, I get 46. And the last entry is telling me to look at the second row and third column. Okay. So I'm going to look at the second row and the third column. So I'm now multiplying 5 times 4 to give me 20. I'm writing it down here, sorry. And 7 times 1, that gives me 7. When I add those together, I get 27. And that's how you multiply matrices.